Hello everyone, my name is Emily and I'm posting in regards to Module 3. For Prompt 1, Katherine Johnson describes racial surveillance as encounters between specifically multiracial families and authority-type figures. Erasure is explained as situations where multiracial families are made to feel uncommon and overall not normal by others in a public setting. I think both of these have a very large impact on these families, not just the ones talked about in the article, but overall, because I think it can make for not just uncomfortable situations, but even unsafe situations. I know that it could be very scary to be questioned simply because of your family and not like I don't look like my family. I'm fully related to them, but I don't look like them, and I couldn't imagine that being questioned. So I think it would be very scary. In the article, Navigating the Hypervisibility and Invisibility of Mixed Race Families, it dives deeper into real life situations and encounters that real multiracial families have gone through. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. These situations happen more times than some may realize, and some have the privilege of never having to go through this. To relate this first prompt back to myself, I am in an interracial relationship, with me being white and my partner being mixed. As his mother is black and his father is white, whenever we were out in public, we do sometimes get odd looks that I believe we would not get otherwise. We sometimes even ask each other if people really think it is odd we are together simply because of how we look. To connect this in a different way, whenever we go out to eat with his father, people sometimes assume that his father is actually mine, despite them looking so insanely similar. None of us take it too seriously, however, it does make the outing slightly weird for all three of us. For Prompt 2, this article was extremely informative and gave examples from different racial groups varying amongst many different age groups. I took this a few different ways, the main one being that the way one's racial ethnic group is perceived and what someone has heard all of their life, and while growing up especially, it is easy to fall into the idea of this is what I need and this is what I must do with my life. I think a lot of the times there is a certain view for certain racial groups that society has just expected these individuals to fall into simply based on their racial ethnic groups. The youth in this article viewed their racial group a very specific way, and a lot of the reason is because of what they have heard and some have even experienced. This article is surrounded by youth of many different racial ethnic groups, not just explaining stereotypes given to them, but also discussing how the youth especially has become very aware of this, given that we are headed in the correct direction to becoming more educated on these issues, and maybe we'll be able to correct some of them. Hopefully. While I have not experienced racism firsthand, I have seen it in some of those closest to me. I have a really close, near and dear to my heart friend who is a black female, and she has shared experiences with me, things that she has gone through, and whether that be whenever we were in high school, even middle school. She also attends MTSU, and our paths have been different, and a lot of the things that we have gone through and experienced are different. A main reason for that is because I will never have to go through some of the things that she has. She's even had discussed things at work. People I know, not just from her, but just what I've seen, people can make assumptions about someone simply based on the color of their skin. And I know that can just be very uncomfortable for someone. And so that's a very big issue, and they do speak about that in the article. And I think it's important for even people like me who haven't gone through it firsthand to still understand and kind of hear those situations out and those experiences out and understand them on another level, and maybe even be part of a better change. So I just think that that's important. Even if you haven't gone through it, I think it's important to still like register that happens, that that's real. People actually go through that, and to be a part of the change. So